Right, so before we begin reading our story today, I want you to close your eyes and think about who the biggest person you know is. Are you thinking about that person? All right, open your eyes. Now, who was the biggest person that you thought about? Oh, interesting. And what makes that person so big? Why are they so much bigger than you? Perfect. Now, I want you to think about something, okay? Say perspective. Remember, perspective is how we see things with our eyes. So the biggest person that you know might be up here, and they might be a giant to you. But there might not be a giant to everyone else, depending on their perspective. Let me show you what I mean. So if we have these friends, we might have the basketball player. And the frog. And actually, let's do the bunny. The bunny might be better. Let's do the bunny and the ant. Now, these are ordered by largest to smallest, okay? But I want you to think about something, okay? Because you told me who the biggest person you know is. Can you see those better? Okay, that glare. So, if we are looking at the basketball player, who is a giant to the basketball player? Anybody over here? No. Is the rabbit a giant to the basketball player? What about the ant? Is the ant a giant to the basketball player? No, because they're way, way smaller. But let's look at the bunny. What do you notice about its size? Perfect. Is it the biggest animal or person on this board? No, it's right in the middle. Very good. So if I was the bunny, so pretend you're the bunny, put on your perspective. To your perspective, who is a giant to the bunny? Who is a giant to the bunny? Yes, it would be the basketball player. Why is the basketball player a giant? Because he's much bigger. Now look at what is this called? The rabbit. Who would the rabbit be a giant to? Right, the ant, because the ant is a lot smaller, so the bunny is bigger, which makes him a giant to the ant. Now remember, it's all about perspective. This guy's perspective is that these animals are all smaller than him. The rabbit's perspective is that he sees a giant and someone smaller than him. And the ant's perspective is that all of these people are giants compared to him because everyone is bigger than him. So remember, everything that you see with your eyes is all about perspective. All right, so let's go ahead and read this story. We already read it. You know exactly what story it is. Let me show you the cover. It's called Giants. Giants is a matter of perspective. An elephant is a giant to the lion. A lion is a giant to the pig. A pig is a giant to the rabbit. And a rabbit is a giant to the frog. Now, to whom is the ant a giant? Look, here's my little bitty ant. Who's a giant to the ant? Yeah, the frog. Who else? Yes, they all are a giant to the ant. Why? Why are these all giants compared to the ant? Because his perspective is that all of these animals are bigger than him. You are so right. But if you look at all these animals, are all these animals giants? No, it's a matter of perspective or how you see. Look at the lion. Who is a giant to the lion? Yes, the elephant, because the elephant is bigger than the lion. Who is the lion a giant to? Yes, the lion would be a giant to these animals over here because they're all smaller than them. Their perspective is that the lion is larger than him. Now, a mother is a giant to a baby, and a basketball player is a giant to me. Who is a giant to you? Tell me, who's a giant to you, and what makes them a giant?